All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting of March the 9th. And today we welcome some of our staff and public in our audience here as well, and for all those who are listening, and thank you for joining us. First item on the agenda, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council meeting of March 9th, 2021 be adopted. Do I have a mover?
Henry Siemens.
And do I have a seconder?
Marvin.
Marvin, thank you. Any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of February 23rd, be it 2021, be adopted. Do I have a mover?
Oh, sorry.
Karina, thank you. And Don, thank you. Any questions or errors on the minutes?
Thank you for correcting that, Danica. Otherwise, no.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Going down to correspondence. Central Station report. Just to give you a little bit of update where they're at in regards to their COVID restrictions and their delivery of services. And also, it was very exciting to see the idea of connecting with all the different resources that are in the community to be able to have that meeting. I'm not sure how many of you remember a few years ago, we were well on our way to having an event at the Southland Mall to do exactly this, to connect with all of the services together. And it's good to see it coming together.
This isn't an official minutes though, is it?
It's just their report.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. And it was one of the reasons why I was in support of a lot of the things that we were attempting to do with Central Station and with our housing programs and so on. We weren't going to be just landlords. We were going to be to do value added for the people to give them a foot up. So this is wonderful.
It's nice to see that we have that many organizations in our community looking after the health of our community as well. So. Next one, we have a letter there from Manitoba Association of Seniors Centers and another worthwhile organization that is in place and looking after some of the needs of our seniors. And as you know, we are considered an age-friendly community, which has been there for quite some time. And I believe now we also have a official rep that we assigned, right? Do you remember who that was?
Well, I know that community service is working on some aspects of this. So that's different. Maybe you're thinking of accessibility, but
this one says that they're
yeah.
assigning an age-friendly resource team to our community.
Right.
Yeah.
oh, that way from
Yeah.
their perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen any indication of who that is yet.
Okay.
But Don, are you still on the
I'm on
seniors?
senior board.
So are you there also under the umbrella of,
Services or under the Connie Newman?
yeah, for the
No.
age-friendly?
No,
No.
I could if you wanted me to.
Well, it would be nice to have somebody connected there already. Would be
I know
helpful.
Connie, so
Okay. Okay,
I can reach out to
so
her.
maybe we can put that in the minutes. Don will be serving in that committee.
How often does the Winkler Senior Group meet with Dawn? I don't ever see their
Once
minutes.
a month,
Oh, do we get their minutes?
I can get them for you.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
No, we haven't. We haven't in the past, so, but I can get them.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have updates on that.
Yeah.
Just to see.
I guess one of the things where we have insisted on minutes is if we are a supporting organization that financially supports the organization.
Yes.
But that wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt to have them.
Yeah.
No, it would be nice
Yeah.
to have them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the other ones do it out of the generosity of the heart, so.
Oh, good to know.
Okay, be it resolved that the accounts payable in the amount of $905,250.34 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover,
Henry Siemens.
seconder.
Andrew?
Any questions regarding check register or anything on there? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the general operating and utility financial statements report for December 20th be received for information. Mover,
Henry Siemens.
seconder.
Andrew?
Any questions regarding the financial statements?
Excellent report.
David is here to answer any questions you may have. Yeah, I think reiterate that as well. The notes are very, very valuable to us as council. It gives you the abbreviated version. So it's nice to see. Okay, sorry, a second. Okay, and no other questions? All in favor? And that is carried. And this is a good subject to talk about. Be it resolved that 2020 surplus be transferred into reserves as follows. General Fund Reserve, $1.324,366,080. Utility Reserve, $563,028.54. Mover,
Henry Siemens.
seconder.
Andrew?
And any questions in regards to these surplus funds? Some questions or
No.
no? Okay. No questions here? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
So on the attached notes to the surplus resolution, you can see how we will transfer this reserve. We are some of the costs we covered up, and then this is the one note I want to add for the back holdback. It was part of our contract, in our construction contract with WBS, that the holdback of the cost, we would keep in a separate bank account, and the interest that they would accumulate be at the end of the construction, we actually pay that out to WBS. So that's the amount that's being transferred into the site for that as well.
Thank you.
Is that typical that the interest on holdbacks is paid out at the end of the holdback period?
It can be, it depends on the plan and the contract, so.
Okay.
Not certain on whether they'll claim it yet, and how long that will back in, but we have to account for it.
Okay. Be it resolved that council authorized Manitoba Hydro to install a 60W LED 25-foot davit on Elantra Drive for the amount of $339.60. Mover,
Marvin,
seconder.
Karina?
Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. Going on to committee reports, be it resolved that the fire committee meeting minutes for December 2nd, 2020, and the attached reports be adopted. Mover,
Michael,
seconder.
Don?
Any questions regarding the fire report? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the water and sewer report of February 2021 be received for information. Mover,
Andrew?
seconder.
Marvin,
Any questions regarding that one? When I was looking at the report, I noticed that at one point in time, the sewer and the water actually met.
yeah,
I think for the first time for quite some time. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? That is carried. Be it resolved that the drought monitoring report for March 2021 be received for information. Mover,
Andrew?
seconder.
Marvin.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just obviously concerning, and seems that every single time there's been any precipitation in the last number of months, it's missed us. And again, today, there's snow first there north here, and we were gonna get some rain, but we have yet to see it, so it's.
Yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah, it's very concerning. I was recently at the at Red River Basin meeting, and the reports there confirm that it's very dry south, and that's where our Red River comes from. So we need lots of spring moisture.
And the systems, they seem to be going just
Just north.
western Manitoba and then to the north, western
Right.
Manitoba to the north. Okay, thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Be it resolved that the Community Services Committee meeting minutes for February the 9th be adopted. Mover,
Andrew?
seconder.
Karina.
Any questions regarding community services? Marvin? Oh, sorry, you're just scratching your
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
I thought you had a question. Okay,
A
All
shout
in
out to our
favor?
staff. Our
Carried.
staff have done a great job with
Yes.
opening that
Yes.
neck.
Yeah.
and
That's
still
been
are.
huge. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Not an easy task.
No, and especially through all the different restriction levels and
Yeah.
all of the different changes, like they've done a phenomenal job with staying on top of that.
Yep.
Kudos to them.
Thank you. Be it resolved that Discovery Nature Sanctuary meeting minutes for January 20th, 2021 be received for information. Mover,
Marvin.
seconder.
Karina.
Any questions regarding those minutes? You keep planning? Stuff happening? Waiting for the land sale to go through? How's that coming, Jody? Do you know?
Yeah, I think we got something from them today when I was out.
Like a subdivision?
Oh, no, that's all well underway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just the finalizing of the sale.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Be it resolved South Central Regional Library minutes for February 18th, 2021, and the 2019-20 annual reports be received for information. Mover
Marvin.
and a seconder.
Michael?
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Marvin?
Comment, I guess I messed up on it. We're going to have, I was asking for a physical copy of the 2019 and 2020 annual report. It's with all the pandemic disadvantages and so on. It's just amazing how well we've done in
Yeah.
spite of that, and how many people have used the services. It's
Yeah.
just,
It's wonderful.
it's just wonderful that way.
Yeah.
So it's a well-needed service that we provide.
Very well used, yeah.
And kudos to the team for adapting through everything and not just shutting it down, because shutting it down would be the easy answer.
Mhm.
So kudos to them for continuing to find a way to work around it.
That's right. And thanks for the municipalities that continue to see the value and supporting this. It's without that we would we would shut down.
Mhm. And thanks for serving. Going on, be it resolved that Winkler Resource Committee meeting minutes for November 2020 and February 2021 be received for information. Mover,
Karina,
seconder.
help.
Dawn?
Thank you.
Any questions regarding those minutes?
We are a very blessed community to have so many selfless people. That's what I know. Sitting in that room with all of those people through Zoom now is crazy to be able to listen to everybody and how they are pouring into everything. We have such an amazing community.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate, and I don't take that for granted.
Appreciate that. And thanks for representing us on that committee. Be it resolved that Explore Morton Winkler Board meeting minutes for February and March be received for information. Mover,
Karina,
seconder.
I'll help. Michael?
Thank you.
thank you.
And again, in your court, your lane.
Mhm.
And
Pizza Week was ridiculous.
Yes.
Okay, we have Poutine Week coming up end of April. So that's going to be launching in the next little while, so everybody get ready.
Oh, dear.
But I've heard from several of the restaurants that Pizza Week was the deciding factor that tipped them over to being a profitable business again.
Wow.
And so that is huge going through this pandemic and being in the restrictions that they have been in for so long. These restaurants need all the help that we can give them. And so to everybody that bought something, I'm very grateful because we are very fortunate. I think that people are looking for opportunities to step out there and be a community again, but we need to find ways to give them that opportunity. And so I'm grateful that for the board, we have a pretty great board, including our dear Wendy.
And the other thing that still is an issue, I guess, with restaurants, and I heard it again tonight, I heard it the other day when I was out. They are struggling still because they cannot have more than one household represented at each table. And anybody going out for a business lunch or whatever can't go out with the business community. And so their lunch crowd is Zippo. So,
As well as the supper crowd and the Jets games and all of these things
yeah,
because.
yeah, all those contributing.
Yep.
So, yeah, hopefully we can open up enough so that it becomes more viable for them as well.
Great.
All right. Be it resolved, this meeting of council recess for the purpose of holding public hearings. Mover,
Karina.
seconder,
Marvin.
thank you. All in favor? Carried.
Next one, I will
Step
step
it out.
basically.
Okay, so noted. Andrew stepped out. And Jody, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, we're having this public hearing under the Planning Act because of this proposed subdivision, which you can see is called the Gardens Phase 2, and you have the map in your package there. And the Planning Act states that if a subdivision will result in the creation of a new public road, then council must hold a public hearing to receive representations on that proposed subdivision. And so we have advertised this and we have not received any objections in regards to the public hearing. You also have the packages attached with the report from the Planning and Engineering Department to council on the subdivision. Their recommendation is to, if there are no objections, to approve it based on the conditions in the development agreement.
So I don't see any red dots, so that's a good thing. And your conversations have already taken place with John in regard to what some of your requirements are.
Yeah, none of the conditions have changed from phase one.
Okay, and John, you're okay with those conditions that were initiated?
Yeah, I think so. You agreed to that one, so it should be good.
Okay, all right. He didn't add any fine print? Okay. Well, if there's no further discussion or comments, be it resolved that council approve the subdivision number 446320, 7999, subject to development agreement and subject to zoning. Oops, I better close the public hearing first. Be it resolved the public hearing for the subdivision 446320-7999 be closed. Mover,
Don,
seconder,
Karina.
thank you.
Yep.
All in favor? Carried. Now be it resolved that council approves subdivision 446320-7999, subject to development agreement and subject to rezoning. Mover,
Henry Siemens.
seconder,
Marvin.
all in favor? And that is carried. Call Andrew back. Next one's a public hearing for bylaw 2256-20 LIP wastewater treatment facility.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, we have a couple of guests that have joined us by Teams. So I'm going to ask Scott to just briefly introduce them, and then David's going to take us through the, explain the reason for the public hearing.
All right. So up on the screen for our team's meeting here, we've got Nathan Whitmire with the Manitoba Water Services Board. He's been involved in the project through the final design process, as well as on the right, Paul Barcelou, who is our project manager with AECOM, who completed the final design for the wastewater treatment facility as well. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is a public notice for Local Improvement Plan 41, bylaw number 2256-20 for the construction of the wastewater treatment facility. And this facility is required in order to meet current wastewater treatment standards for the city of Winkler. And this wastewater treatment facility will serve both the city of Winkler and the rural municipality of Stanley for a total future population of 28,800 people. The total estimated cost is almost 49 million, less the funding from the provincial and the federal governments, as well as a contribution from the Arm of Stanley. So the total balance at the end for the city of Winkler comes down to $10,592,613. That is the maximum dollar amount in this borrowing bylaw. It's for a period of 15 years at a maximum interest rate of 4.5%. I like to say maximum. We hope to be below that rate. And total maximum debt payment based on this bylaw is $986,318.53. So that comes down to roughly a mill rate increase of 1.072 mils. And what would that mean roughly on a residential home in Winkler? On an average assessed value of $250,000, that would come down to $120 roughly per year. And obviously, as we grow, that amount would become smaller. We have advertised this public notice as it's being stated in the Municipal Act, and we have not received any objections. We had one person register for this public notice, and I don't know if she wants to speak for it. Okay. So far from here.
The person in the room who is not opposing is Barb Dick, who's our former city manager. So she's been involved with this process for a few years as well. Okay, any other questions, any comments from you guys that you want to share? No?
None specifically, no.
No? Okay.
I don't believe so either.
All right. Well, thanks for your support, guys, and you're working together with Scott and his crew to bring this to this point. Appreciate it very much. All right. Therefore, be it resolved that the public hearing for the local improvement bylaw number 2256-20 be closed. Mover?
Michael?
Thanks, Michael. And seconder?
Andrew?
Thank you, Andrew. Any last questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Going on to 13.8, be it resolved the City of Winkler request project management service assistance from the Manitoba Water Services Board to complete the tender document finalization, contract administration, and construction of the Winkler wastewater treatment facility and associated works. Mover?
I think we missed 13.7.
Why did I do that?
We closed, but we didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we close it. All in favor? That is carried. You guys make me nervous.
But I don't think we've even put 13.7. We've closed the hearing, but I don't think we've put 13.7.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we closed
I
the
have to go
hearing.
back and do it again.
13.7 we are.
Please.
Okay, back to 13.7.
Thank you.
Be
We're
it
gonna make
resolved
sure.
that bylaw number 225620, being a bylaw to authorize local improvement plan number 41 for the construction of the wastewater treatment facility, be read the first time and submitted to the municipal board for approval. Thank you, Henry. It's my mask.
Yes. I would so move.
Thank you.
I'll
Second
second that. Andrew?
Andrew seconded. Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Hey. Now we go to be it resolved, the city of Winkler requests the project management service assistance and the Manitoba Water Services Board to complete the tender document finalization, contract administration and construction of the Winkler wastewater treatment facility and associated works. Mover.
Karina.
Okay, Don and Karina, thank you. Any questions? Maybe Scott, can you just give us a little overview as to why this is required or recommended?
Yeah, so Manitoba Water Service Board, they've got significant experience running contract administration for projects of this scale. As well, we've had a good working relationship with them through this whole process and on a number of other our projects that we're currently working on as well. And so their expertise in these types of projects is what we would look to lean on during construction.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions of Scott? Hearing none. All in favor? That is carried.
No questions, just accolades for the great work he's done on all this.
Yes,
Yep,
absolutely. He's had his hands full. Many projects. Getting her to the finish line is important. And we have a privilege of having youth council member report. And Gwen, you want to tell us what's going on?
She has too nice of nails. That's the issue. That's the issue. Got it. Got it.
Okay, so not much to report. 2 weeks ago, we met with NPC Student Council, and that went really well. It was good to start that conversation and start building a relationship between the youth community and the municipal community. Yeah, other than that, I think things are pretty much the same. Things haven't changed within schools for a while now, so that's been nice for everyone, I'm sure. Yeah, that's about it, I guess.
Gwen
And,
actually joined me on some of my committee meetings as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So she
good.
joined me for the Winkler Resource Exec meeting, and that we found was very beneficial.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. And there were a few others, so it's good to be able to bring her on board and let her see what we do on these councils, right? She came to our rec meeting as well, so it's good. I think it's very good to integrate them. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
We're actually doing tours this week. I need to tell you the times. Sorry, don't. Anyways, it's fine. With the NPC Student Council as well of the MEC. So we're giving them all tours to show them around and let them see the facility, and some of the teachers jumped on board of that too. So if GVC teachers would like to jump in on that, they should jump in too. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's good.
So maybe a question, maybe you have some insight to it. We received an email today from one of the teachers expressing concerns that a number of students that were actually going out and getting jobs and it interfering with their schoolwork. Do you find that there's a significant number, or is that something, I mean, as a city, we don't control our industries, whether they can hire students or not. We would strongly encourage them to make sure that their education time is first. But do you find that that's an issue with the students, or what would be some of the
I think
reasons
it
behind it?
depends. I think it definitely depends on what kind of job they're working. I'm working at the MEC right now, and well, I'm not in school for this semester, but I know I would be able to keep up with it. Like, I don't think it would be a problem for me, but it also, if you have a full course load in high school, it would definitely interfere, I think. I think it would be yeah, just an extra thing to have to think about, work and school, right? But it's definitely nice to have an income as well. So balancing those two things can definitely be stressful. I'm not 100% sure what the solution for that would be, right? Except, yeah, I don't know, just to make sure you're taking on no more than you can handle. I think it's, I think it would be good to encourage people to just constantly be self-evaluating and looking at how much work you're taking on for yourself, and know that it's okay to not have a full course load. And you also don't need to be working 20 hours a week. Like, it doesn't have to be, yeah, you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself.
You're wise beyond your years.
You really are. You really are.
Yeah.
Well, I think from our perspective, if you can help us to relay that to the students in the school, priority number one is your education.
Yeah.
And secondly, working is nice, but it's not an essential. And if it is, like you said, to pace the balance, I think
Yeah,
is
for
very
sure.
important. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that to you, if you could help spread that from our
Yeah, of
perspective as
course.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have any questions from the media.
Before you adjourn, I mentioned Scott and accolades for Scott. I wanted to also give accolades for another member in here. Scott's team with Tim and the mech for building that mech, and also now with Wastewater, Dwayne's been very involved. Just want to give that whole team accolades publicly here as well for all the hard work they've done. We've said now how the rec staff have opened the mech so well. Our engineering team is top end. We're definitely spoiled here with a great staff.
Yep.
And I just wanted to publicly mention that and congratulate and give thanks to all of our staff here today. So
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
thanks, Tim.
And I'll take it up a notch to the guy sitting at that table. Jody, you have been an absolute foundational support to this entire team. Your insight to providing training as you are currently and today again that you're doing together is invaluable. And we believe that it will pay off and is paying off. So thank you for your leadership and also for how you have supported council throughout this process. Difficult times with whether it's budgeting or whatever it is, to be able to pull it all off together is very appreciative. All right. We don't have any council issues coming out of our in camera, do we?
No.
Okay, so then we will adjourn. Be it resolved, this regular meeting of council be adjourned. Mover, Karina, seconder.
Andrew.
Thank you.
Andrew, thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.